All right. Well, we have a Canadian theist in Maureen. Welcome, Maureen.
Hey, Maureen, welcome back.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing okay. I like listening to you guys. You make me think a lot. Um,
Awesome.
I don't know, this might be sounding weird when I said that, do you think I'm wrong because I'm a theist?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so I wanted to explain that I understand that there's no proof of a God.
hmm
I believe that I have faith that there is something more, and I think it comes from the fact that I just really don't trust people, and I just don't trust anything people say because they're very good at letting you down all the time. I
Have
mean,
you ever heard anything
look what
about a
just
God that didn't
what
come from a person?
yeah, that this might be strange, but um I don't think it comes from people. I mean, I understand that all our knowledge starts comes from other people that
What have you
teach
heard
you
about a God
something.
that didn't come from a person?
Oh, I guess no, you're right. It comes from us. It comes from
I'm like, if
people.
you don't trust people,
Um,
then you have, and you trust that there's a God, you have some evidence or something that I'm not aware of.
no, you're right.
When I
I
say I
don't
think
have
you're
evidence.
wrong, when I say I think you're wrong, I think all theists are wrong. I don't mean I think there is no God, and that's why I think you're wrong. I think theists are
Oh,
wrong in that even if there is a God, I'm not aware of any reason that could justify believing in it. And so I don't know whether or not you're wrong about a God existing, but I am solidly convinced that you are wrong about whether or not you have good reason to believe in a God. Unless, of course, you think you believe in a God and you don't think you have a good reason. And then I think you're really, why would you believe things without good reasons?
I I I don't know. I think my belief uh, that there is something that's good, you know,
I
helps
believe there are things
me.
that are good.
I think, yeah, and oh, okay. I guess I'm not making much sense here.
Well, it's
Um,
just I need a reason to believe in a God. I have plenty of reasons to believe in good.
yeah. So why do you believe in good? Like, where does that come from?
Good and
Like, you just
evil
think,
are labels that we
yeah,
put onto actions that people take by evaluating the consequences of those actions and how they change the world. And so if you're doing
and
actions
they
that
just,
improve the world, we call that good. I know that there's good because I've done good. I've been closely associated with people who've done good. It is it is like breathing. I don't need to make an argument that people breathe anymore. And I don't, people can do good things and people can do evil things. Uh, None of that has anything to do with whether there's a God.
yeah, I see that. I just think, uh, I don't know, people are too confusing for me. That there's too much evil and too much good. So I guess I like to think that there's something else that will ultimately lead to, just happiness or something. I don't know.
Do you care whether or not
I
your
don't know.
beliefs are true? Is it more important that your beliefs be true or that they be comforting?
That's a good question. It does make me feel good to believe that there's something out there that, that, yeah, I am comforted by
Do you
that
actually
fact.
believe it, or do you actually just act as if you believe? Because when I believe something, I don't ever have to, talk about how it makes me feel. I believe things when I have good reasons to believe them. But there are other things, and generally saying, um, when I say, "Oh, I'd like to believe this," when I say I'd like to believe this, what I mean is I don't actually believe it, but it'd be cool if it were true. And that's a very different
Hmm.
thing. And you can be optimistic. Like I'd like to believe that trans people aren't going to suffer under Trump, but I don't think that that's
Uh,
true.
yeah, yeah, maybe that's the way I am thinking, and it makes me feel good to think that way. I guess that it's very comforting to me to think that there'll be good outcomes from what I believe in or what I think I believe in.
Can I
And for
can
some
I
reason, I call it a God.
can I strive to
Okay.
undo that?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. That's why I'm listening
So
to you guys. I want to hear what you have to say.
if you feel better because you kind of hope or wish that there was some kind of God, what would you think if you found out there was a God and he's sitting watching all of this and he's not doing anything about starving kids? He's not doing anything to help anybody who's struggling. He's not doing anything to provide any evidence that it exists. He's not involved in anybody's life. He's just sitting back, barely paying attention. Is that a God worth wishing for?
Um, yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah. What if it's
Um,
worse than that?
y-
What if he is paying attention and he's keeping score and he's decided, you know what? I'm going to bring that person to the good place and that person to the good place. But this person, they're going to hell. This person, they're going to hell. This person who's believed in me or some version of me their entire life managed to get something wrong. They're going to hell. Is that a God worth wanting to exist?
no, of course not.
Yeah.
I,
The gods that people
yeah, I see.
propose, I wouldn't want them to exist because it's bad enough that we live in a world where some child might be assaulted and mauled and malnourished and die at 3 and no
Yeah,
God. I mean, why are you better than the God you're advocating for? You would intervene.
yeah, I would, of course, but a lot of people don't. I
I think,
mean,
but
I
what
think,
would good people intervene? I know people wouldn't, but would good people intervene?
mm, well, I guess if they're not scared, they would. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
some people are just
So
not brave.
is God scared or is God not good?
Yeah, this is I guess where I go into that feeling of you know, we're here, he made us, and just sort of said the whole point of you being here is that you have free will, and he hopes you make the right decision. I don't know. And of course, we disappoint all the time.
Earlier, Maureen, you said that you thought the reason what you hoped for a God was that God would work things out in the end so that humans don't have to make these good decisions. What if everyone thought that way and said we can just abdicate making good decisions so that God would clean it up someday down the road? Would that be a good way for
Yeah,
all of us to live?
no, you know what? But I do believe that that's the way that mega evangelistic crowd you've got over there believes, because who can vote for a man who constantly sins and is like the worst piece of crap you could have? And they just believe, like, yeah, well, God will forgive him. It's not up to us to judge. And yet they judge people every day. So, yeah, I guess
But do you
I,
think that that is somehow inconsistent with their actual doctrine? Because it seems
yeah,
to
I
me to
think
be
they're,
perfectly it seems to me that it's perfectly in line with a very natural interpretation of their doctrine.
oh, yeah, their God does, you know. But this is why there's a difference between people and God, because people are stupid. I
Right.
mean, I
But
have to think that there's something better than people. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
well, it's easy
Like,
for
do you
us to
believe that?
we can all
Yeah,
imagine
okay, go ahead.
ways that things can be we can all imagine the ways that things can be better, right? That doesn't demonstrate though that there is something to be better. So I can
Yeah,
imagine my bank account $1,000 larger.
yeah,
And then if I got that $1,000, I could imagine another $1,000 in there, right? So
yeah,
the our ability to imagine things being better doesn't point to something better. Would you agree?
yeah. I'm just
Okay.
having faith that there is something better, or I'm
But also
hoping
I'm
there is.
I'm a
I
little
don't.
bit concerned that your faith, as you said, that you want you want a God to come up and clean up the problems eventually at some point in some manner that you are unclear about. And I'm more I'd be more excited for you to say, you know what, you are going to, because you want things to be better, that you're going to do some small part to make it better. If we all just wait for a God to come in and save us, isn't that creating a lot of the mess?
Yeah, you're right on that.
And if
Um,
God
and
was real, wouldn't that God congratulate people who are doing something instead of waiting?
mm, yes, he would. Um, so yeah, as you can tell, I'm extremely confused about things, and I still have this need to want to have something. And it's not like I think he's going to come down and save my life or save us in this lifetime. Like I have no concept of when things would end. Like I'm not, you know, like it could go on forever, So so when would he come to save us from anything? So I'm really not sure what I'm trying to get at here. I guess
Well, I
I'm
think Matt and I
totally
would
confused.
encourage you to continue to care, as you said you do, about whether your beliefs are true, and not
Okay.
whether they're
Yeah.
comforting.
Oh,
And
all right.
if and pursue this. Have dialogue with yourself. How do I? Is this just comforting, or what can I point to say that it's actually true? And work on, and just iterate over that over and over again. Because if God is true, you will arrive to a God conclusion. So that's great news. And if God is not true, you might arrive somewhere else, and you might be able to help all of us with our one and only life that we know we have. Right? If we're looking ahead to a next one and it's not there, then we've wasted it. So
Yep.
worry about
Yeah.
worry about whether your beliefs are true is I think our general advice, unless I've misspoken for Matt. Sorry, Matt.
No.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. I
Thanks, Maureen.
think I've got it down. Yeah. Pardon me.
I was just saying thanks, Maureen. I appreciate you calling, and I appreciate your honesty and answers.
Yeah, I think you're right about it. This is all about comfort for me, and I've got to think about the belief part of it because I know there's no proof that there's a God, and so I think I'm starting to figure things out. Anyway, listening to you guys does open up my thinking more as to what's going on and what it is that I'm thinking of.
Just keep
And
asking questions and looking for better sources of answers.
yeah, that's right. Looking for the answers, looking in the right places for the answers. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks a lot, guys,
All
for
right.
listening.
Thanks, Maureen.
Thanks, Maureen.
Have a great night.